A woman is not going to walk up to you and clearly say, "I've chosen you. Now make your move before I change my mind." That's just not how most women express interest. Instead, what actually happens is far more subtle, and this is exactly where most men completely miss what's going on. Women often show their intentions through body language rather than words. It's like a silent system of communication that's been around forever, sending one clear message without saying a single thing. I'm open and I'm interested. The problem is, if you don't pick up on these signals, she won't keep repeating them or make it obvious. She'll simply shift her attention somewhere else, usually towards someone who is more aware and responsive to what she's quietly expressing. Now, here's something that might honestly surprise you.
Studies, including research from the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior, suggest that women tend to show multiple signs of attraction before a man even registers one. On average, it's around 5 signals before he notices anything at all. That means by the time you start wondering if she might be into you, she has already been communicating that interest for quite a while through her body language. And interestingly, the most telling signals don't come from her eyes or even her smile, but from her hands. Hands are often overlooked because people don't consciously control them as much. A face can be managed, a voice can be adjusted, but hands tend to reveal what's genuinely going on underneath without trying to hide it. Today, I'm going to walk you through 8 specific hand gestures that clearly show when a woman has already decided she's attracted to you. These are physical cues that most men completely miss without even realizing it. And once you understand them, there's no going back. You'll begin to notice these signals everywhere, whether you're at a cafe, at work, or sitting across from someone on a date. And with that awareness comes a kind of pressure, because now you'll recognize the exact moment she's chosen you. The real question then becomes whether you're confident enough to respond. By the time we reach the end, you'll be able to tell the difference between simple interest, the moment to step things up, and the point where you've already let the opportunity slip. Stay with me all the way through because the final signal is the one that truly separates those who act from those who end up confused about what went wrong. A woman won't usually make her interest obvious through direct words, but her body often says everything for her. One of the most common signals starts with something that seems ordinary at first. The way she touches her hair. But there's a very specific version of this that carries a deeper meaning. She won't just quickly fix her hair and move on. Instead, her hand will move gently toward the side of her face or behind her ear and then slowly glide down toward her neck or collarbone. That slow lingering motion is what matters. It's not rushed or accidental. It's drawn out, almost intentional, even if she's not fully aware she's doing it. When a woman behaves this way, she's subtly drawing attention to her neck, which is considered one of the most vulnerable areas of the body. In psychological terms, exposing that area signals comfort and trust. It's her body's way of expressing that she feels at ease and open in your presence. This isn't just theory either. Observations from researchers like Monica Moore at Webster University have shown that this combination of hair touch and neck exposure consistently appears as one of the strongest indicators of attraction in social settings. So if you notice her hand repeatedly moving through her hair and drifting down to her neck, don't brush it off as random nervous behavior. It's often much more than that. And if you completely ignore that shift in energy, if you stay stuck in safe surface level conversation without responding to the moment, there's a good chance she'll assume you're not picking up on it, and she'll slowly pull back. Another subtle but powerful signal shows up in the way she interacts with objects around her. You might see her fingers tracing the edge of a glass, lightly running along a coffee cup, playing with the corner of a menu, or absent-mindedly sliding along the strap of her bag. It looks harmless, almost like she's just keeping her hands busy. But in reality, this behavior often reflects something deeper. Psychologists refer to this as tactile displacement. It happens when she feels the urge to create physical contact with you, but the situation doesn't quite allow it yet. So instead, her hands redirect that energy onto whatever is nearby. Think about what that really means. There's enough attraction building internally that her body needs some kind of outlet for it. Studies from places like the University of Manchester have found that these kinds of behaviors increase significantly when someone is around a person they're drawn to. So when you see her slowly tracing patterns along the rim of her glass, it's usually not boredom or distraction. It's a controlled expression of interest. Most men overlook this completely, assuming it's just a random habit. But in many cases, it's her way of managing a desire she's not ready to express directly yet. The object becomes a substitute, a safe stand-in, because reaching out and touching you too soon would feel too forward in that moment. The third signal is when she initiates physical contact with your arm. The moment a woman intentionally reaches out and touches you during a conversation, something important has already shifted. Touch isn't casual for most women, especially with someone they're not interested in. It requires stepping past personal boundaries, which means there's a reason behind it. If she lightly places her hand on your forearm while laughing, that's not just a random reaction. If she taps your shoulder while making a point, it's not simply expressive conversation. It's deliberate. In that moment, she's quietly testing how you respond. She's paying attention to whether you lean in, stay comfortable, or create distance. Your reaction gives her immediate feedback about whether she can move things forward or if she needs to hold back and reassess the situation. The fourth signal is something so subtle that most people never even register it, yet it reveals a lot. It's the way she shows her palms. When a woman is talking to you and her hands are open, whether she's naturally gesturing with her palms facing upward, resting them openly on the table, or offering you something with her palm exposed, she's expressing a level of comfort and trust without realizing it. On the flip side, when someone keeps their hands closed, clenched, hidden, or tucked away, it usually reflects a more guarded and protective state. But open palms facing you send a completely different message. It quietly communicates that she feels at ease, that she's not holding back, and that she's open to the interaction unfolding. The fifth signal is when her fingers find a way to make contact with yours, even briefly. At this point, she's no longer being subtle. She's making her interest much clearer. If she playfully compares hand sizes, traces your palm like she's jokingly reading it, or lets her fingers brush against yours when handing something over, that's not sluchajna pavadinja. Hand contact carries a different level of intimacy compared to other casual touches. The hands are incredibly sensitive, packed with nerve endings, so even a light graze creates a noticeable reaction for both of you. That small moment can trigger a sense of connection that goes beyond words. And here's where many men lose the moment without realizing it. Instead of allowing that contact to linger naturally, they pull away too quickly, breaking the connection almost instantly. When she creates that moment, the best response is to stay present, relaxed, and not rush to end it. Holding that brief connection with calm confidence shows that you're comfortable with closeness, and that alone can leave a strong impression. The sixth signal shows up in how she positions her wrist, and it's more meaningful than it seems at first glance. The inner wrist is one of the more delicate and exposed areas of the body, where the skin is thin and the veins are visible. When a woman consistently turns her wrist toward you, whether she's resting her arms on the table, adjusting a bracelet slowly, or supporting her chin with her wrist facing in your direction, it often reflects a deeper level of comfort. This behavior connects to instinctive patterns where exposing more vulnerable areas signals trust. It's not something she's consciously planning. It happens naturally when she feels at ease around you. Researchers like David Givens, known for his work in nonverbal communication, have pointed out that gestures like wrist exposure often align with romantic interest because they come from a place that's hard to fake. So if you notice this happening repeatedly, it usually means she feels safe enough to lower her guard in your presence, which is a meaningful shift in any interaction. The seventh signal becomes clear when you start noticing how she responds to your touch. If you lightly and respectfully initiate contact, like touching her forearm while making a point or guiding her gently, and she responds by doing something similar back, that's a strong indicator of mutual interest. This is known as mirroring, and it's one of the clearest signs of connection in body language. She's not just accepting your presence, she's actively engaging in it. For example, if you brush her arm and she later does the same to you, or if she leans into your touch instead of pulling away, she's signaling that she's comfortable and open to the interaction moving forward. Mirroring like this removes a lot of uncertainty. Instead of guessing where you stand, you can read her response directly. When she reflects your actions back to you, it's her way of saying she's aligned with the moment and willing to continue building that connection. The eighth signal is the one that makes everything unmistakably clear. It's when she places her hand on you or very close to you and keeps it there. This could look like her resting her hand on your knee while you're talking, placing it lightly on your chest when she laughs, or keeping her hand on your back as you walk together. At this point, she's no longer just testing how you respond. She's already made up her mind. A quick touch can be playful or casual, but when the contact stays, it's intentional. She's choosing to maintain that connection, which means she feels comfortable being in your personal space and wants you to notice that shift. It's her way of showing that things have already moved beyond surface level interaction and into something more personal, where she's expecting you to recognize it and respond.
Now you can recognize the full pattern, from the subtle hair movement down to the neck, to the way her fingers interact with objects, the intentional arm contact, the openness in her palms, the brief but meaningful finger touches, the exposed wrist, the mirrored responses, and finally, the sustained physical connection. Each one is a form of communication without words, a way of expressing interest through action instead of speech. And the response to that isn't something you explain, it's something you show. A return touch, a calm and confident reaction, a natural step forward in the interaction. That's how you meet her in that moment. If you stayed with this all the way through, drop a comment saying, "I watched till the end." I want to know who's really paying attention. And make sure you're subscribed to, because every week you'll get a deeper understanding of how attraction actually works in real life.